We've been given the opportunity today by a gracious Lake Michigan sailboat owner to visit and review her 36-foot sailing vessel, which hails from Canadian origins and has a storied history rooted in sailboat racing. We will go over a brief history of the sailboat maker, meet the owner, and hear about Sailing Vessel Whisper's recent history. We will also tour the boat below and above decks, and finally take her out for a sail to see how she performs. We're talking about a 1979 CNC 36 Tack 1 with 12,000 pounds displacement, a fin keel, spade rudder, and an 11.5-foot beam. I'd consider her a coastal cruiser in the class of, say, Catalinas, and the thin keel and light displacement keep her fast and maneuverable. CNC is named after George Cassian, an aircraft designer, and George Cuthbertson, a mechanical engineer, who started working together designing boats in 1961. The story goes that these two great gentlemen were attending a Maple Leafs hockey game with a customer, Perry Conley, who requested that the two of them design him the meanest and hungriest 40-footer afloat to take on the racing circuits. Red Jacket was built by Bruckman Manufacturing to their specifications and was raced with much acclaim. The great success of Red Jacket's performance and design innovations elevated George and George into the formation of CNC Yachts Limited in 1969, which subsequently soon traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange as a public company. Some background on the owner of Sailing Vessel Whisper. She lives near Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, yet keeps her vessel here in Chicago. She's retired, so she drives down here, usually on the weekends, to sail Whisper. Her passion for sailing, fondness for this particular sailboat, and connection to the Chicago sailing community is profound, and frankly, gives her and many like her a passion for life in the autumn years. Let's hear directly from Dorothy about how she found this CNC 36.
So I bought her in 2007, and I bought her from Chesapeake Bay. There was a place out there, and a friend of mine who really knew boats was helping me look through all of the available boats. And this one was very inexpensive, but she'd been up on the hard for about 5 years. And there were obviously problems. I think the engine had one time thrown up lots of fuel and stuff because it was kind of on the bottom. So she needed a lot of cleaning. But you know what? I like fixing things that are broken. Yeah. So it was really fun for me to buy her. And we went to Chesapeake, looked at her, decided to buy her, and then I had to get a truck to bring her back to the Great Lakes. Oh, wow. Right? So they trucked her over here to Indiana is where I put her. So I got her probably in December of 2007. And then I was looking to cleaning first while she was on the hard over at this one boatyard. And I wanted them to redo the bottom because the bottom was really pretty bad. So they were working on that, but then I wanted to put in a new engine is what I was thinking. Okay. So I was able to call the guys that I've been with since 2008, the Rentner brothers. And Eric came over and Russell, his brother, and they looked at the engine and they said, well, I don't know if we can save it. Yeah. And so Russell did some compression tests and stuff. He said, no, the engine's hosed. So we put in a Yanmar. I think it's 28 horsepower, right? And I've had it since then. So, awesome. But the reason I chose Eric Rentner is because I'm looking around for people to put in engines. And do I want to have a rebuilt one? Do I want a new one? Who's going to put it in? And guys would put it in for really pretty cheap. But Eric had a book of all the engines that he'd put in. And he always paints where he's putting the engine in before he puts the engine in. And I was looking through his thing. I go, that's the guy for me. Yeah. So I had Eric put my engine in, and they've done, and I've been with them ever since. They take good care of me. So this boat is really perky, and she doesn't have a whole lot of space. Like cruisers have lots of cubby holes to put things in. I don't really have that. But She's a lovely boat to sail. She's really easy and she loves the wind. And she's light enough, she's like 12,000 pounds. She's light enough that when a wind comes up and she goes, oh yeah, and she picks it up and then she starts to scoot. I also have a shark fin keel, so she's really maneuverable. She's
Yep.
also got an offset rudder, propeller. So it's offset towards the port.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to turn that way, and I just give it a little gas and she scoops around like that.
Oh, wow.
So she's a fun boat.
Awesome. Below decks, Whisper's charming, open, and functional. The owner has some great custom touches in the galley, such as a wine glass holder and an open cabinet for cups, bowls, and plates. Note the corner pieces that would allow one to fasten themselves within the U-shaped galley in rolly conditions. There is ample storage and function in the galley to include the addition of safety measures such as a fire extinguisher and a flame retardant blanket. The nav desk has a copious amount of storage with no less than 14 pull-out drawers while housing the ship's VHF. The electrical panel and an inverter can be found immediately adjacent to the nav desk. The settee area is adequately spacious with plenty of headroom. The port side U-shaped settee has room for a tabletop. There is storage above either settee, and you can see the mast is keel stepped for increased load-bearing stability. There's ample light and ventilation in the main cabin from the port lights and hatches. I love the handholds mounted high in the cabin. Heading toward the V-berth, there's a hanging locker opposite the head. The head packs in a sink, shower, toilet, and some storage into a fairly small space, which might be a little confining when the door is closed, but this bathroom or head does the job. The V-berth offers the option to sleep additional crew members or provide additional storage for the boat owner. There are many extra storage spaces found below and underneath the V-berth. The hatch above offers plenty of light during the day or an observation point for stars at night. Above decks, I notice how sleek, tapered, and skinny she looks from the top. Yet she has an 11.5-foot beam with space down below for living. The extra height on the top deck certainly facilitates ample headroom down below. She is sloop rigged with a traditional mainsail that collects in a stack pack. The foresail is a furling 130% Genoa, I believe, on a Harkin furler, and the lines are all organized and run back to the cockpit. The decks are clean and provide a good amount of space to traverse forward and back. 2 teak handholds on the top deck represent the only brightwork that might require periodic oiling or varnishing. The hull is painted dark green, so the distinctive CNC logo no longer appears on the hull. But the distinctive metal tow rails on the deck reveal this to be a CNC design, as that was a CNC innovation. The cockpit has a comfortable amount of space, with 1 deep lazarette locker to port and a shallow lazarette locker above the quarter berth to starboard. A fold-up cockpit table is available for outdoor dining. There are 2 elevated perches available behind the helm. I refer to those as princess seats. In addition, there are 2 bench-style helming seats on either side, where one would likely find propane tank storage. This owner is extremely proud of the helm station instrument panel, and justifiably so. This upgrade gives the helm person all the information required to sail and navigate that they might want or need. The emergency rudder attachment is found immediately behind the helm station on the cockpit deck. We departed the dock in light wind. The sails were super easy to raise, unfurl, and manage. Given the light wind conditions, fluttering between 2 and 7 knots, we considered where best to place the jib fair leads to squeeze out additional performance. The sailboat sailed in sub-5 knot winds, which would be less likely for heavier displacement sailboats. Indeed, another sailboat was simply hove to in the light wind and spent the early afternoon with the crew swimming. We noticed a race on the Chicago lakefront, trying to make what they could out of the low wind conditions. The wind didn't give us the opportunity to see this CNC clipping at full speed, but it did show us that she could make something out of practically nothing and move in the direction you wanted in light air. When making our way back to port, we configured the sails wing on wing to carry us at about 2 knots of boat speed in the direction we wish to go. This sailboat is easy to sail and performs very well. It would be ideal for aspiring Lake Michigan cruisers, racers, or day sailors. You can find similar sailboats listed on Yacht World at around a $20,000 price point. Though the electronics, newer engine, and state of the fiberglass on this particular sailboat might deserve a premium if Whisper ever comes on the market for sale. I want to thank Dorothy for the opportunity to feature her sailboat today, as well as my subscribers. If you stayed until the end, please consider pressing that like button. It helps the channel immensely. This is Sailor Eric. Thanks for watching.